Okay, so I thought of a thought experiment. A lot of theists talk about the concept that consciousness is fundamental to reality.
Mm-hmm.
And so my thought experiment is to start thinking, and anybody can do this, by the way. Think of things, events, or occurrences happening in your objective reality that are have a high probability at first of happening. For an example, would be a certain number of a certain type of birds flying in a specific direction. So you could do like 3 black crows flying from south to north, or a certain type of plane flying in a specific direction. Okay. And then you would think it would be confirmation bias if these things start to happen, but the idea is to mark them off your list if they happen, and then with time, hours, days, weeks, however long you want to do this experiment, you get more and more specific and detailed in the occurrence or event that you want to attempt to create in your reality. If consciousness is fundamental to reality, how these theists claim it is, then I guess potentially you could create events into your reality. That was the thought experiment I had, pretty much.
Okay, so basically, if as you add more detail, if what you observe doesn't get more detailed, then that disconfirms the assumption that your consciousness creates reality. Is that the deal?
As you add more and more detail to how things will, I guess, manifest or whatever you want to say into your objective reality, if they continue happening, like to the detail that you specified in your imagination, or like when you were imagining it happening, then maybe at some point it would go beyond the point of confirmation bias into some kind of basis where your consciousness is actually creating objective results. I mean, I don't really know, but I was asking for advice for making it more like scientific than just an experiment like that. I don't really know how to do controls and stuff.
Okay.
Now, that was the idea. But
okay.
Yeah, it's based on the pseudoscientific concept of like law of attraction.
Yeah.
Where thoughts create your reality, but I was thinking more in the terms of testing it, and not in a magical context, but more like just straightforward creating things, I guess, and then going beyond the confirmation bias.
Okay.
Yeah. I would be really surprised if I could, have more than what would be attributed to chance. But that would be an interesting thing to try out and say, how often do I get what I imagine and how often don't I, and just
honestly, I've tried it now for about 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't really know what to believe. I've had a good amount of things happen, but not exactly with the detail, and some of them were exactly detailed, and then when I got more detailed, and it also depends on your environment and what kind of things happen in your neighborhood or wherever you're at, but I guess I don't really know. It's hard to even tell if anything's changing or if it's really doing anything or not. I can't really determine yet.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, thanks, first time caller. I like your show.
All right.
And,
thanks.
Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate your call. Okay.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, you too.